Good evening, everyone. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. Welcome to my class, The Daily Current Affairs. The Daily Current Affairs premieres on a daily basis from Monday to Saturday. This Sunday, I'm also coming up with the marathon for the month of June 2023. Make sure you watch it. It will premiere at 6 p.m. And whatever you have missed for the month of June 2023, the current affairs, it will be covered over there. And those of you who have been in touch with current affairs, make sure you watch it for revision purposes. Do not worry about notes because I provide the notes through my Telegram channel that is by the name of Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. If you have any queries regarding this examination, you can talk to me on my Instagram and follow me on Threads. These are the various events that we have to cover today. First of all, let's talk about the practice question that I gave you to solve. The Karunya Arogya Suraksha scheme is a health scheme for which of the following states? The correct answer to this question, as many of you have commented in the comment segment, it is correct, it's Kerala. Kerala has utilized in the most maximum amount the Karunya Arogya Suraksha scheme. For the third time in a row, Kerala has won the Centre's Arogya Manthan 2023 award to provide, and this has been in the area of providing free medical treatment to the maximum number of people in the country. It has also done maximum utilization of the Karunya Arogya Suraksha scheme. Kerala has also won the award for providing the best services to the visually challenged. So this is a really big deal. The Union Government's National Health Authority Arogya Manthan Awards have been distributed. So Kerala has excelled in that and many other states are there as well. And this is an annual celebration of the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. This provides us a universal health coverage. Nobody should be left behind on the basis of money when it comes to getting healthcare services. Moving on. If you know about the P2I batches, we have already launched it. This is an evening batch from 22nd of September. Please take admission as soon as possible because we are giving you another discount. This discount is the Super Learning Day sale. And this batch will close on 30th of September. So make sure you use the code PDLive. We will give you an additional discount. Earlier it was 29,999. Now it will be 26,999. These classes will be live in nature. That means you will be able to interact with the teachers. Other than this, we not only provide you GS, but also ethics, CSAT, essay, prelims test series, mains test series, and a studyIQ campus program is also there. Meaning that if you qualify UPSC 2024 prelims, you will be called to the campus to prepare with us for 4 months free of any extra or added charges. And this is just at 26,999 only. Let's move on. Consider the following countries: Russia, Japan, Canada, USA. India has a 2+2 dialogue mechanism with how many of the above given countries? Russia, yes, we have a 2+2 dialogue mechanism with Russia. That is definitely correct. Since 2021. Then with Japan as well, we have a 2+2 dialogue mechanism since 2019. Canada, we do not have a 2+2 dialogue mechanism with this country, but USA, with this country, we have had the earliest 2+2 dialogue mechanism since 2018. During the Trump administration period only, we got this 2+2 dialogue mechanism. Now, what is 2+2 dialogue mechanism? It's a mechanism that ensures continuous dialogues between two very important representatives of the countries. We will know which representatives are these. Also, this dialogue mechanism takes into account political consideration, what is the politics that is going on in the country, so that they can have better coordinated approach towards it. So, first, second and fourth, yes, but not Canada. So, 3 only here will be the correct answer. India's 2+2 dialogue, intersessional dialogue was recently held in Washington. It's a format of meeting which consists of the foreign and defense ministers of India and its allies. That means Foreign and Defense Minister of India and Foreign and Defense Minister of USA, Foreign and Defense Minister of India, Foreign and Defense Minister of Japan, by whatever name they may be called in their own country. And to better understand and appreciate each other's strategic concerns, this dialogue proves very important. Supposedly in the Indo-Pacific, India and the USA, they have almost similar concerns. So, strategic convergence of those concerns are necessary. That is why we have the 2+2 dialogue mechanism. India has with 4 key strategic partners: US, Australia, Japan and Russia. See, Australia, US and Japan, these are members of the Quad, right? The Quad is an informal grouping of these 4 countries. These four countries have very similar political structure, democracy, and on the basis of that, they also want the world to be democratic in nature and not assertive in nature. But Russia is not one of the Quad countries. Still, with this country, we also have the 2+2 dialogue mechanism. The inaugural dialogue mechanism, 2+2 dialogue mechanism with Australia was in 2021. With Russia, again, December 2021. First, India-Japan 2+2 dialogue was held in 2019. And with the USA, we have the oldest 2+2 dialogue, which was in September 2018. With respect to the Financial Action Task Force, choose the incorrect statement. It was established in 1989. It is having its headquarters in Paris. India and China are members of the FATF. FATF suspended membership of the Russian Federation on 24th February 2022 when it started waging war against Ukraine. So sometimes it can happen, we may know the very static information of such important organizations, but currently how they are faring, we may not be keeping abreast with that. So this is the purpose of my series, of my classes, to make sure that you know each and everything. So yes, it was established in 1989. What is Financial Action Task Force? It's an international watchdog that looks if there is money laundering, terror financing, or any sort of issue that can create terror in the entire world. And it was established in 1989. Its headquarters are also in Paris. First statement, second statement, these two are correct. India and China both are a member of the FATF. This is also correct. Do you know that it has 39 members, the FATF? And Indonesia is an observer. This country holds the observer status. So if it is asked in your examination about the observer status, 39 members are already there, but Indonesia is an observer country over here. FATF actually suspended the membership of the Russian Federation on 24th February, that is correct, but not 2022. It was in 2023, 1 year, exactly 1 year after the war. It gave it proper time to do it. So first, second, third are correct, fourth is incorrect. Fourth will be the correct answer over here. Now, an article has been published by Amnesty International by the name of Weaponizing Counter-Terrorism, India's Exploitation of Terrorism Financing Assessments to Target Civil Society, in which it has blamed India, allegedly said that India is trying to come down on civil societies by citing recommendations of the FATF. India has responded and said that this is just nothing, there is no evidence that India is doing so. FATF is a global money laundering and terror financing watchdog. It's an intergovernmental body. That means government of different countries, they interact with each other through FATF. And it sets international standards, that these are the standards. All the countries have to implement these standards so that illegal money laundering and terror financing cannot be done. It is also a policy making body. When it makes policy, it generates political enthusiasm so that these countries have enough political will to implement the set standards. Moving on, it is a 39 member body, and in total more than 200 countries and jurisdictions have committed to implement the standards that are provided by FATF. It was established in 1989, based in Paris, and through its many associates, the FATF works. Alright, let's move on. With reference to turtle and tortoise, consider the following statements. The turtle is a land animal and the tortoise is an aquatic animal. That means turtle lives on land and tortoise lives in water. Turtles usually have dome-shaped shells, whereas those of the tortoises are flat and streamlined. The shell of tortoises is harder and heavier compared to the turtles. So how many of the statements given above is or are correct? So many of the students or what? Adults also get confused between turtles and tortoise. Although they may seem to be the same, but they're very different, because turtles, they live in water. They're aquatic animals. Tortoises, on the other hand, they live on land. So first is incorrect, because here it is written turtle is a land animal. No. Turtles usually have dome-shaped shells. No. It is the tortoise who has a dome-shaped shell. But if we talk about the the shell of the turtles, it is more flat and streamlined so that it can swim properly without much friction with speed. So first is incorrect, second is also incorrect. But yes, the shell of the tortoises are actually harder and heavier, which is compared to the turtles. So first is incorrect, second is incorrect, only third is correct, right? Let me see. Yes. So one only will be the correct answer. The turtle is an aquatic animal, while tortoise, this is turtle, this is tortoise. If you see turtle, it has webbed legs, as you can see, so that it can swim properly. Tortoises have feet like elephant feet, little elephant feet, so that they can move properly on land and burrow in cases of need. Then we talk about the shells. It's flatter and streamlined. Let's talk about the shell of the tortoise. It's dome shaped, it's even harder and heavier. All right, moving on. Yes, the small turtles that live in brackish and fresh waters, these are, very usual. And the freshwater turtles are called terrapins. All right, moving on. With respect to Shaheed Bhagat Singh, consider the following statements. Bhagat Singh was influenced by August Vaillant, which resulted in the bombing of the Central Legislative Assembly. Shaheed Bhagat Singh was influenced by anarchism and communism, and Bhagat Singh was sentenced to death by hanging for Saunders' murder. So, how many of the statements given above is or are correct? Today is Shaheed Bhagat Singh Ji's birth anniversary, and which one it is? 116th. And this is why I have asked you this question. It is important to know not just the superficial level of it, but also the in-depth knowledge. The British considered Bhagat Singh Ji a terrorist, but for us, he was a revolutionary. I have told you many times. Somebody's terrorist will be somebody else's revolutionary. The cause differs. Bhagat Singh Ji wanted to fight for his country. Although the procedure he used, he also later said that he could have worked differently. The procedures were very different, but we cannot ever deny that this, of course, furthered the concept of India being an independent country in the masses. The romanticization that he created, it can never be denied. So yes, if we talk about Shaheed Bhagat Singh Ji, he was influenced by Auguste Vaillant, who was actually a French anarchist. He also bombed the French chambers of the deputies in 1893. So by the influence of that, the Central Legislative Assembly was also bombed, but it wasn't bombed to kill people. It was to make the deaf hear. So first is definitely correct. He was also influenced by communism and communism and anarchism. Second is also correct. And he was hanged for the murder of Saunders. We have seen if you have seen Rang De Basanti, you will definitely love that movie because it's a very revolutionary movie, also way ahead of its time. First correct, second correct, third is also correct. 1, 2, 3, all three will be the correct answer. Today is the 116th birth anniversary of Shaheed Azam Bhagat Singh Ji, and today in the Khatkar Kalan village of Shaheed Bhagat Singh Nagar, there will be programs in order to show tribute to the Shaheed Azam Bhagat Singh Ji. Now, 28 September 1907, he was born in a Jat Sikh Punjabi family to Kishan Singh Sandhu and Vidyavati Kaur. He was from the very beginning, from a very early age, he was influenced by the ideas that were floating around for India's independence. So in 1990, he also visited the site of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre when they were meeting between people who were unarmed and they were fired at by General Dyer. He took part in Mahatma Gandhi's non-cooperation movement in 1920. But the thing is that he was also influenced by the fact that Mahatma Gandhi ji's ways were not getting India independent immediately. He wanted immediate independence, so he started to go other ways, revolutionary ways, more instant gratification ways. So he was an important member of the Hindustan Republican Association, which was later on named as Hindustan Socialist Republican Association. He also joined the Naujawan Bharat Sabha. He was influenced by Auguste Vaillant, and I have already told you this. Moving on. Bhagat Singh was influenced by anarchism and communism. He has made references in his diaries to Karl Marx, Engels, Lenin, Trotsky, and Bakunin. From May to September 1928, he used to write articles in the Punjabi paper Kirti. Bhagat Singh was also an admirer of the writings of Irish revolutionary Terence McSweeney, and he wrote articles such as Blood Sprinkled on the Day of Holi, Babbar Akalis on the Crucifix. And this was influenced by the struggles of Dharam Singh Hayatpur. So a question can be formulated. Make sure that you know all these things. This you will not find in any book that you are reading right now, maybe. But I have got this information from the leaflet, because sometimes UPSC will ask you in-depth question. This is the correct session for you. On a daily basis, you have to attend this session if you have to do well in this examination. Moving on. Because many a times what happens when you see the paper, the question paper, all the time we ask ourselves, where did this question come from? And the key to, having knowledge about this vast syllabus of prelims is gathering more and more, but utilizing them with optimal capacity. And this particular class is going to help you through that only. Moving on, consider the following statements. In the first Lok Sabha of 1951, there were 22 women MPs, and the Lok Sabha elections of 2019 witnessed the highest number of women candidates in the parliament. So which of the statements given above is or are correct? Do you know at the time of independence, participation of women were there. It was there, but it was very negligible as compared to the men. And that also manifested in these Lok Sabha elections. There were 22 women MPs, just 4%. And the Lok Sabha elections of 2019 witnessed the highest amount of women in the parliament. For the first time ever, the amount has crossed 100. For, we are adding the numbers from Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha, there are 78 women, and Rajya Sabha, 25 women. So it's a huge deal, but still just a meager percentage it shows as compared to the population of women in our country. First is correct, second is correct, both 1 and 2 will be the correct answer. If we talk about the census of 2011, about 66% of the Indian population was below the age of 35 years. Still, we are seeing that the average age in Lok Sabha is increasing. Average age in the first Lok Sabha election was 46.5 years in the first time, and to 55, now it is 55 years in the 17th Lok Sabha, the current one. In the first Lok Sabha, there were 22 women MPs, 4%, 4.41% actually of the total 489. And in 1957, 27 women got elected out of total 494 members. 78 women were elected in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections in Lok Sabha, and this is only 14%. As you see over here, Rajya Sabha has 25 out of 245, and if we talk about Lok Sabha, we have 78 out of 543. So it's a huge deal, but still not at par, not enough, heft we can attach to it. Now, with respect to Zealandia, which is being considered as the 8th continent, consider the following statements. It is 98% underwater, and the remaining part is with New Zealand. It has clearly defined limits. So which of the statements given above is or are not correct? Zealandia. Scientists have mapped a part of this 8th continent, and this continent has been given the name Zealandia. It is 94% below water and not 98%. Here it is written 98%. Remaining 6% part is above water, attached to New Zealand and certain other islands. So the first statement is incorrect. And yes, like other continents, it also has a clearly defined boundary, clearly defined limits. First is incorrect, second is correct. How many are not correct? One only will be the correct answer. Sorry, which of the above is not correct? One only will be the correct answer. Zealandia is actually 94% under the sea, and that is why not much is known about this particular continent. Here it is, Zealandia. Okay, and the thing is that the remaining 6% is with New Zealand and the other islands that are nearby. Because of the volcanic forces that separated Gondwana land, this particular continent was also created. Now, the continents that we see right now were created 83 million years ago, about 83 million years ago. And like other continents, like the rest of the 7 continents, Zealandia has elevation above surrounding oceanic crust. Also, it has diverse geology. Its crust is thicker than that of the oceanic crust. Also, area is greater than 1 million square kilometer, and it has clearly defined limits. So these are the features of Zealandia. And here it is suggested that near Campbell Plateau, some issues with respect to volcanism or rifting occurred. That is why this remained below water. And also subduction has to play a huge part here. Subduction is when the denser plate goes beneath the lighter plate, creating volcanism, creating earthquake, tsunami, and such other things. With respect to the China-Pakistan economic corridor, consider the following statements. It links Kashgar in China's Xinjiang province to Gwadar deep sea port. At the 11th Joint Cooperation Committee of the CPEC, China did not agree to a host of measures that Pakistan had proposed, and it is a part of the Belt and Road Initiative. So how many of the statements given above is or are correct? China-Pakistan Economic Corridor that came into existence as a part of the Belt and Road Initiative in 2015. The honeymoon period seems to be over because at the recent meeting, that is by the name of 11th Joint Cooperation Committee of CPEC, there were certain recommendations or proposals that were made by Pakistan for energy, water resources, etc., to increase tourism in Gilgit-Baltistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, but these proposals were denied. So yes, second statement is correct. It is a part of the Belt and Road, and yes, it links Kashgar's Xinjiang in the Xinjiang province of China to Gwadar Deep Sea Port, which is very close to Iran's Chabahar port, in which India has interest. First is correct, second is correct, third is also correct. All three will be the correct answer. At the 11th Joint Cooperation Committee of the CPEC, China hasn't agreed to a host of measures that Pakistan proposed, such as for energy, water management, and climate change. Such as other points as well, Gilgit-Baltistan, they wanted to increase tourism in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which they call Azad Kashmir. So this is not our narrative, not studyIQ's narrative. This is just for depiction purposes. And here only they wanted more and more tourism should be there. It is a part of India. Who are you to suggest any sort of tourism? Azad Kashmir, they call it. It is Pakistan occupied Kashmir. The thing is that India has time and again lodged strong protest against CPEC because it passes through our territory and it actually undermines our sovereignty. It is undermining India's sovereignty. So the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is a 62 billion connectivity project, started as a very meager amount of billion connectivity project, but later on it became 62. And it connects Xinjiang's Kashgar, here it is, to Gwadar, which is a deep sea port. And in Iran, India's interest is in Chabahar port. We have developed it. And it is a major component of Beijing's broader Belt and Road Initiative. It is a flagship program to bring the Iron brothers close together. Now, CPEC projects 64% consist of electricity and infrastructure is 35%. Also, if we talk about what do they say about, connectivity, it's a part of the maritime Silk Road. That is why Gwadar port was also added in it. This is their particular agenda. And CPEC funding, they are saying it's not totally by the help of loans. There are foreign direct investment as well. Then there are concessional loans, commercial loans and grants. So they are saying, this is from a website that Pakistan has shown us for China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. And they said that they are getting this data from the World Bank. It's not a complete loaned out project, but it has FDI as well. 69% they say it. Now this is a practice question for you to practice and answer in the comment segment. Consider the following applications: medical and healthcare, automobile, aerospace. How many of the applications given above can be achieved by 3D printing? I have told you about 3D printing. I hope you can answer this question. Let me take the names of those students who have answered my last question correctly. So yes, last question was Kerala is the correct answer, and there was also a question that I asked in the middle. Many of you have answered that correctly as well. Simran has answered both the answers correctly, questions correctly. Then Ria has answered again. Good. Afspa, Manasvi, yes, it will be at all times, not only during the time of turmoil, because in order to curb turmoil only, AFSPA has been created. Okay. Mandeep has answered it correctly. Priyadarshan has answered it correctly. Priyadarshan. Okay, then we have user. Then Nikhil has answered it correctly. Tinik has answered it correctly. Chiranjeet. Swati has answered it correctly. Mansi has answered it correctly. Mithlesh. Kanchan. My goodness. Shubham. Kanika. Murshida. Omkar. Ritu. Abhishek. Manoj. Utkal. Sidhu. San 4388. No worries, just revise. There is a lot. This syllabus is very overwhelming. You just have to revise. If you have read something once, make sure you have read it 4 times. Then only it will be etched in your memory. And current affairs is all about revision, knowing and revision. Okay, don't worry. San 4388, thank you so much for answering the last question. Answer this question as well. We'll see you soon.